Hello world, Augustine Cortez coming to you live from Web3. And today I had an interesting day because it was essentially sporadic, but a main event happened today that gave a glimpse on really how people react to NFT launches, but also learn about layer two optimistic rollups, how to essentially remove transact or gas fees in transactions. And I learned about the technicalities of that. I learned about businesses that focus on launching blockchain solutions. These companies literally create their own code, their own language to meet the solutions. And then I also tapped in a little bit into the DeFi space with the goal of understanding how to leverage um, DeFi components to be introduced in the DAO, and then within the DAO can operate within the atmosphere if you want to leverage assets. So like specifically talking about NFTs that do staking or they purchase fractionalized pieces. How does that look under the hood? And also we had a Twitter space today for Learnio. That was really awesome. Got to engage with some community members, and all around it was a really good day to build and learn. Okay, so begin. I was really just browsing around. The first area I jumped into was I came across Immutable.com. I believe that's their name. Let's see, Immutable. Yeah, Immutable.com. What they are, it's a marketplace built on layer two of Ethereum. So what happens here is they built code and under the hood, this is known as a rollup, where the marketplace can process transactions off chain. And by doing so, this essentially is a transaction being received, and it isn't forced to go onto the current block. And the technology does the same process of verifying transaction, making sure it's legit, coming from the right accounts, etc. And what ends up happening is by doing the transaction off chain, it gives it enough time to not pay the gas fee, and then it will be added on to the main chain without paying gas. And this is a huge solution for people in Ethereum because gas prices are ridiculous. Like if you're going to purchase a NFT for $100, you're going to be looking to pay gas fees up to $150. All right, so that's getting absurd, and I learned about Immutable, and it opened a lot of opportunity too, not just in L2, but potential blue chip projects in the marketplace, because the mass markets are dealing with this issue, right? OpenSea is the main marketplace, but people are tired of gas. So if Immutable becomes the OpenSea with no transactions, then the blue chip collections here are going to be arising and be on a rocket. Ideally, that's the vision or possibility, speculation and theory here. But I ended up getting into a really cool NFT collection called the Astro Bros. I saw the art and I immediately liked it. It reminded me of Nanoslick. So I peeped it out. I started to take a look at the Discord. Once again, the philosophy of being so early, it's uncomfortable. They were experiencing some issues. They were doing unreveals. And yeah, the process was really good. I sent some ETH over from my MetaMask, and from my MetaMask to Immutable, you do pay a one-time transaction fee or gas fee to get the ETH inside Immutable. And once it's there, you can use that ETH and purchase an NFT and not pay the gas. So it was a really cool experience. I'm glad I got in. Floor is going up, and overall, it was a good experience. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot, and then it started to peep under the hood about Immutable, and I see a lot of potential because they're literally solving one of the biggest pain points in Ethereum: gas fees. Gas fees are ridiculous. So as more and more collections get added onto this marketplace, more possibility for growth and progression, right? The more or less friction points for the average user, the better the overall UX experience, and network effect. People save money, more money enters the market, and all those variables collectively get added. So then from there, the Mecca launch was going on. So I did enter the raffle, and I got to see the execution from start to finish. I remember when they first dropped the video, it had a few hundred likes. I got to see it, and immediately the art is absolutely amazing. So I kept an eye on them for a long time, and they finally launched today. Well, what's interesting is how people react to launches, and I've noticed this a lot in the NFT spaces. You can't please everyone. Um, I saw people dropping comments where they had no true knowledge. For example, one is people were upset that they were doing OAuth authentication. Some people were literally saying, "Oh, they're going to get inside access to your account. They're going to read your data, your DMs." In reality, with OAuth, it's just a read read access where they just see your account, and depending on the OAuth screen, is they're either just going to see your email or your username. So people were running with this narrative that Mekaverse is going to run with your account and tweet, harm your identity, and uh, I think it's just people don't understand product, and it was just bad hype, right? And then also people were like, "This is a terrible product. This is not a Ponzi scheme." A lot of narratives. I think I saw a lot of cognitive dissonance. A lot of people didn't want to admit they're upset that they didn't get in, because if you got a Mecca, congratulations. It's a beautiful piece. It's honestly historic, right? The amount of hype this project generated is a record breaker. And who knows if we'll ever see this amount of demand for another project, because the art was pioneerish. The execution was really good, from landing page to announcements to mods to the waiting process. It was really, really good. I didn't get a Mecca, but I'm not upset. I'm actually grateful that I got to see the opportunity from vision to execution. And then people were upset saying that they gave the accounts to friends. Of course, there were bots. People botted, found ways to be one up against the bot or security, and it was a few that slipped through the cracks. But I mean, there's no central whale that owns majority of the mechas. There isn't an account that, I think, to my current knowledge, at this time, the biggest account owns 56 and bought it at the floor or above floor around 5 to 6 ETH each. So that's not light. Move forward. Post Mecca, saw the narratives. You can't please everyone, but it was a good experience to just witness. And then from there, I dove into Web3.JS. I really started learning about how the front end side of dApps connects to the chain. They don't use REST APIs. They process through JSON, reading protocol, and bridge. And the syntax of JavaScript to call the variables in the blockchain was a really interesting experience, because I've been focusing majority in Solidity, which is a smart contract, which is more of the back end. And Web3.JS is a hybrid language where you work front end, but then you also work with the back end, which is the smart contract and the code for Solidity. So it's meshing both worlds. I really want to be a phenomenal developer, and I want to understand as many angles as I can. So transitioning from pure backend understanding, reading smart contracts, running some tests on the environment, um, transitioning to the front end is really exciting, because it's a big piece to the puzzle. And I got into that. I learned about Infura, the software that allows you to create your own, or to connect to Ethereum node, and all that magic stuff. And I just got the buzz that my AirPods are about to die. So I'm gonna wrap this up shortly. And yeah, after Web3.JS, I started peeking into DeFi with the goal to learn more about protocols and systems that can be used in DeFi that tie into NFTs. The goal being is if you have a really strong DeFi understanding and you have this NFT component, this product, you can create processes to generate revenue, incentives, and utilization to the NFT. Like Cyberkongs are doing with the banana coin, and they're using that coin as their in-game currency. And the tokenomics is really interesting to me because it literally is economics and the creation of a new currency. And that's really, really, really interesting. That's one of the most important things. You are a government in the sense of token creation, and then also finding there is the governance and tying it back to NFTs. So there's so much to learn, so many areas to keep on picking up, front end code, web, JavaScript 3, or Web3.JS. You got Solidity smart contracts, you got all the variables of setting up the nodes, the environments to run the code, and then you have DeFi, and then you have the marketing, the culture, all those variables, just to get things off the ground. And then lastly was the Twitter space. Thank you to everyone that joined. It was a small group, intimate, just throwing philosophies, ideas, experiences, answering questions. It was a really good time to sit down with community members and share insight, right? And we shared the vision with Learnio is we want to create this evolving community and Discord and server and aspect that it's ever growing. We're pushing the boulder up at the beginning where we create the initiation, and as we help others learn, the goal is that they help other people learn throughout their process. They become educators, and then this never-ending cycle of learners and educators is all happening within Learnio. And if you want to go learn Web3.JS, Web3.JS, if you want to go learn Web3, you go to Learnio because that's the place, and it's a community of fostering and introducing incentives, tokens, NFTs, whatever it may be to help initialize, take the next step for the community. So there's so many things that just make things exciting. Never stop learning here, and just can't wait to hit the sheets, really rest up. It does take a toll, but you do wake up with so much excitement because there's so much to do, and it's exciting stuff. Pioneers work. All right, everyone. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and we'll conclude here. My AirPod's about to die, so today was a nice short video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you tomorrow.